I'm doing it for my daughter.
I was thinking today about demons because there's this short story that's unbelievable. It's Guile of Sphere from the Dying. I think that's from the Dying Earth book. I think it's the Dying Earth book. Man, it's super dark. It's so crazy. It's darker than like, maybe it's not as dark as Event Horizon, but it's pretty dark. There's a museum of like human knowledge at the end of the peak of civilization. They built this one like epicenter, like basically a Library of Congress type thing, like
a Smithsonian.
The Smithsonian, like the epicenter of human knowledge. Like if humans knew it, it's in this building. And thousands of years later, just because it's not explicitly said, but I think it's implied that because that's the presence of human knowledge, like that's the center of our
existence.
What's the tree of knowledge, like the sort of evil that comes along with information? Like information is in the Bible, it starts with Adam taking a bite of the forbidden fruit, which is knowledge. Okay, so this that's that correct? That's what happens, right? You read the Bible, right? You're a holy man, Joey.
Yeah.
Okay. Joseph, biblical name right there.
I think Hezekiah, Isaac brought shepherd
7 grains.
Seven grains. Yeah.
Anyway, so this center of human knowledge, a demon forms underneath it, and holy, it's just the way that I'm not going to be able to describe in a book what's so horrific about this demon. But the nearby village sacrifices its most beautiful male and female inhabitants like once a year for this demon to like flay alive and like with.
So it's a big head.
It's a giant head
in the wall.
Oh.
And it's trying to pry its way into our world.
Cool.
That's so fucking.
I wonder what that's. Yeah. That's. I wonder when that's gonna start happening.
I think it already has.
Soon?
I think it's at Little St. James. I think is where it's at. I do agree with Charles on this that you are like the machine elves and shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's the. I'm not gonna say. I don't know what the fuck they are. I'm not gonna say they're demons. I've never seen one. I have no idea what they are. But if there were real demons that were trying to get through to this world via tripping,
take this.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It holds up with with all the evidence that I've seen. I think there's something about tinkering and seeking knowledge that is, if you don't do it in moderation, I think it will destroy you. Can you look up YouTube Christopher Lee talking about black arts?
This is a classic.
Black arts?
Yeah.
His experience with black magic, and
I think
it makes you go crazy.
I think some people don't click it yet. I think that some people are the only people who come out of that sort of journey of knowledge seeking and have some semblance of humanity left are the ones that are left to warn people not to do it. Let's click this guy right here.
Up in the back there?
It's well known that you have a huge interest in the occult and one of the largest collections of books of that.
I don't have a huge collection. Somebody wrote I had 20,000 books.
That's funny.
I'd have to live in a bath.
This shit's funny.
Chris, you ever see any shit?
Hit pause.
Maybe 4 or.
He's probably about to say something. He's gearing up to say something serious, and people are like, "What a clever turn of phrase from the old British gentleman." This is going on Reddit shower thoughts today. Hit play.
He's thinking about being in hell.
5.
Yeah.
I have The Devil Rides Out, first edition, signed to me by Dennis Wheatley. There's a book just come out about him called The Devil is a Gentleman. And
I remember that one.
I have met people who claimed to be Satanists, who claimed to be involved with black magic, who claimed that they not only knew a lot about it, but as I said, I've certainly never been involved, and I warn all of you, never, never, never. You will not only lose your mind, you lose your soul. I don't have a big library in the occult. No.
Close out.
I know these.
No.
He seems like he's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think people. I mean, I don't think people know what the fucking game they're playing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they think it's like a. I think the gate. You know.
I think there's certain things you're not supposed to tinker with.
It's just that knowledge. There's certain systems of knowledge that if you wrap your head around thoroughly enough, it makes a home in your mind for a demon to reside in.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So there's danger in many ways of the accumulation of knowledge that is not wisdom. What he just said is wisdom. The accumulation of knowledge is not the same thing as wisdom. It's just things that could make you lose your mind or make you crazy and it put a demon inside of you.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on with like. You want to hear something crazy that I heard?
Mm.
And I'm almost scared to tell you people about it. I'm not even kidding you.
Is Nick's mic cutting out? Is that? You're just messing with the buttons? Yeah. Okay.
A buddy of mine that I used to go to school with worked at anyway, I know a guy who worked at Fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
He left the office at 5 o'clock one night. And the doors were all wide open, right? They usually play like 92 Pro FM across the office at like, at night. And he came downstairs because he worked late and he left the office and the doors were wide open and there was screeching bird sounds playing through the fucking speakers. And the doors were like purposefully like in like a huge office building and it was freezing. Like deliberately open? Yeah. That's weird. And he was like, dude, this is like the most demonic shit I've ever. It was like demonic looking.
When was this?
Like 3 weeks ago.
What the fuck?
Yeah. This is like, it was weird. And they're like, their number, Fidelity's like telephone line is like 666.
What the fuck? What time? What time was it? Like midnight?
It was like, it was like 8.
Oh, at night?
Like whether like, that's fucking weird, dude. It like creeped me out a lot. I was like, Jesus Christ.
The fuck?
It made me feel like I'm gonna get a fucking visit from a Suburban. Do you ever hear anything like that?
No, but when I crashed Chelsea Clinton's thing, there were black Tahoes following me for like an hour after.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I could have ran him off the road though.
But your take is that you suspect that that the powers that be somehow this is part of the plan that they're going to flip it.
I assume it's part of the plan because the powers that be have no names and they're not of this world. So it's hard to assume that these things that look, I'm just theorizing, but if they're taking DMT, they're talking to the jesters on the other side. These things are. This is just speculative, but these things are, alive for 1 million years or something like that. Like these, I just don't assume the overlords that are strong enough to conquer a world make mistakes. But that's what I'm down with logic too. I kind of enjoy how things are kind of seesawing a little bit.
Well, when I start to suspect that, what I think is, why is their domination not more complete?
It's just to create a world of happy slaves is necessary. Like it can't always be a fighting thing. You have to get people to be down with it and then happy with it. Otherwise, they don't cooperate, and you straight up have to kill them. You can't corral them. That's what it seems like to me. Like how everyone's down with everything in Hollywood and even taxes and stuff like that. Plane tickets, paying for gas forever, the space project, freaking the budget, trillions of dollars. It just if you get people down with that and you make their lives so miserable they don't even have time to think of how bad their life is. It seems like that's more of an infallible plan than outright like brutality or military force.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I assume that these Bible things work because it's been going on for a couple thousand years. Allegedly.
I think that makes a lot of sense too. Chris, can you go to YouTube and type in "slice of life"?
Imagine if they were harvesting.
The world is this state of disarray and iniquity and whatever. Not that that's all it is, but it is. Satan is the king of the earthly realm. And you don't have to be religious to believe in all this stuff. It's clear that like evil triumphs on earth because
Currently.
No, in general, and it's not in every aspect. It's not like in your relationship with your child or whatever, but in general, like the material world is one that is
It gives into the sins.
it's not the ideal state of things. Okay, and we know this for various reasons. That's what it is. So there is an ideal state to things, and that's why art that is beautiful just for beauty's sake, that's why it's good, is because it is something from this like higher state of order where things are the way that they should be, or it reaches for it in a way that's like
Through the technique and the medium?
through the technique and through what it is, like the image, like how beautiful it is. It reaches for this higher state, and it reminds the viewer to reach for it as well.
Around the street?
It's like the end of Babylon 5. Remember the end of that? It like advanced humanity comes, and they consider the case closed, and they destroy the whole galaxy or destroy Earth.
Is that in the season 5?
Yeah. It was pretty devastating to watch, actually.
I wonder if they were playing fantasy football. They walk
Maybe
in
I shouldn't
what
have
the
brought it
fuck
up.
is this silly billy shit?
It's pretty devastating. Yeah, God's not happy right now. God. But
He's
who am
so
I to
sad.
say what makes...
Maybe he's really happy. Maybe he has a fantasy football of his own. He's like Cardinals, dude. He's the big Dave. He's a Portnoy subscriber.
It's just all the sports stuff. It's all... You know how people are always tricked into participating in spells and rituals without their knowing? And sports is one way of getting people entranced in, like baseball especially, in some sort of... I mean, I don't...
Threes and nines.
Yeah, I don't know. I try not to know about it, but it's all like a game of initiation to their mystery religions there. And just people don't know that they're being taken for a ride. Their time has been being stolen and their money, and there are other things that are being stolen from them, but I don't know if they
Baseball is boring as
I
fuck.
think people know. If they don't know, they're criminally negligent. You have to know at that point.
And by
they
this
don't
time,
know.
by what you see now,
They don't know.
They gotta know.
I think
They
they're too
don't
old.
know.
I think
Because they turned themselves off willingly.
How do they not know that?
yeah,
Baseball
they really
is
don't.
fucking brutal. People who watch baseball alone, just from the watching aspect alone, is
I mean, when,
fucking
Take me out to the ball game.
Cracker Jacks. The energy of
interesting
people.
energy. Yeah, people
Yeah.
all coagulated in like rooting for things, like all praying all at the same time. It's a different energy. You have a beer.
Worshipping Puerto Rican guys.
I mean, I've never been one to do that. Space for a trillion years in one direction. It goes on for a trillion years. You could go on for a trillion years and not run into one single asteroid going at the speed of light. I was like, oh, really? Is that right? Aliens? They come down, they start shooting lasers. Are you kidding me, man? No. Like the invasion and the occupation and the conquering has already happened before you were born. The invasion and the conquering has already been complete before
5,000
your
years
ancestors
ago?
were born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billions of years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, it just keeps on happening.
Trillion years.
Just how it works. But I mean, UFOs. It's so crazy that the stuff that people talk about, like enjoying what I've enjoyed, at least with conspiracy wise, I guess even if you're an average conspiracy guy, that the stuff goes beyond regular science fiction from the 40s and the 50s now. Like it goes beyond, and it's still the same junk. You fast forward however many years, doesn't matter, still flying saucers. Okay, no, not like faster than light or zero whatever the hell folding or stargates. No. Fucking flying saucers.
They got exhaust pipes.
70 years later. Are you kidding me? No, it's a joke. That's why I see everything as a joke. Like this. Well, computers can only get so fast. I'm like, oh, really? You look at the circuit boards, it looks like demon sigils from freaking Solomon's Bible or something like that. You're like this. You know, it's all goes beyond what most people really conceptualize, because people don't look at it in a spiritual sense or even perhaps a religious sense. And when it comes to keeping a secret, I mean, I know you feel that it's probably maybe impossible to keep secrets. It's just, but when you have a system in place that, I mean, unless you're good at like torturing and I don't know, like unless you're good at that, it's not easy to conceptualize what it takes to keep a secret. And I just think it's very, very easy if there's a cult, then it's very, very easy to keep a secret with violence or with money or with blackmail or whatever.